Hello and welcome to the 7th turn. That's game turn 16, August 27th to 31st of GMT Stalingrad 42 Caucasus campaign playthrough. And it was created by Mark Simonich. Interesting dynamic appearing. We seem to have stalled on the Taman area. Over here is the Germans, not getting too much further, but that may change now. Krasnodar was lost. Very good down at Mykop. We've bottled the Russians into the mountains here, and we do have mountain units there to be able to exploit. And the defence isn't that strong. And over here on the Terek line. Down here, building fortifications, getting reinforcements in there, but the Germans they've got Novorossysk here, and now next target Pyatigorsk, and as you can see, it's not very far from the river line here. So and again, the defence not brilliant here, not amazing, and we do have the Panzer Division, full strength Panzer Division on the board here. Along with the SS Panzer Grenadiers as well. So still got a lot of combat power there. Quite interesting dynamic going on really. So we'll start with of course not the weather phase. Still 2 turns away. It will be next turn. Sorry, not 2 turns away. It'll be next turn. But no air units on our initial phase, and placing reinforcements. There were nothing for the Germans, but then there's replacements, etc. We'll do for the initial phase. So for the initial phase proper, we have our replacements here, of which there is a tank replacement for the Germans. Well, that's very welcome indeed. Now, it's interesting that over here we have our tank division, our Panzer Division here, which is flipped. And we could restore that. It's not in any position to really cross the river line here, as it's kind of on its own. But we will be getting some infantry support around now that Krasnodar has been taken. So maybe we could afford to take the reinforcement there, as it's unlikely that we're going to have combat with that unit. Alternatively, we could start to build back one of our other panzer units, which has been completely removed. Bring on a remnant there. We could do that. I'm kind of inclined to just bolster this guy up actually. So we will take the replacement there. And of course our resource point after that will be another of our truck supply points on the north edge that we can use. Okay, that's I think that's our initial phase now, and we can now crack on, I think, with the movement phase. Right, well, rather disappointingly, there's only going to be one attack in the German combat phase. We didn't quite get the infantry into position over from Krasnodar, and I'm not sure I like the odds in the mountains near Tuapse. So we left here, which is really our attack with the Panzer divisions with infantry support here, and hope for a breakthrough, I think. Yeah, that's the only one we've got here. So let's get the numbers on this. Okay, here, so we've got 23 points to 5. So that's a 4-1. 2 shifts though with the elite armour point from the Panzer division, so 4-1 going up to 6-1. A 3 average result for this turn. We're varying it quite well. So it's 4-1 up to 6-1. A 3 is a D1 advance 3. So D1 advance 3 means that unit is flipped and must retreat 2 hexes, which I would say would be to here, and yeah, must be disrupted. Now, interestingly enough, that does leave it in the path of these panzers that could attack again with the breakthrough. Let me clear away all the numbers out of the way so we can see what we're doing. Yeah, so and question is why not? So let's take panzers going through the defender's hex here. I think we can keep the infantry unit there, just guarding the flank here. We've got Zoc bombs, that's great, and we can attack again here. So that's 18 to 3. That's 6-1, and of course we have the bonuses, so it's on the 7-1 table. And we have a 5 on the 7-1 table is defenders shattered, so that unit is removed, and we use 1, 2, and then into this hex is 3. I think we'll just advance one of them. Doesn't matter which one. I think maybe Panzer division into that hex as well, and that gives us our 3. 1, 2, 3. We did the attack, but we was always allowed to advance into the hex we attacked, and that's kind of the combat phase. So on to recovery phase. We only have a couple of disrupted markers of artillery support units that moved, and in our supply phase nothing much happens. Of course, everybody's in supply certainly, and all we do is move our rail heads up. So that will be up here. Now, interesting enough, we have 2 green lines here, which means we can have a second railhead marker, and they split at this point, and they move 2 hexes a turn, each of them. So these will now go to here. So next turn, Kropotkin will be able to rail to, and as these move further forward, it'll make the supply units a little bit quicker to get to where they need to be. But yeah, anyway, that's supply phase. So the next phase will be, of course, the Soviet initial phase. Right, the initial phase for the Soviets, no air units, reinforcements. We do have this guy coming in, a rifle division. Now, interesting stuff. I've made a mistake here on the reinforcements for the Soviets. So I said before that the TC Trans-Caucasus designation in the corner here, sorry, there, is means that it can start in the off-map boxes, and other units have to start in the Caspian Sea transit box. Actually, it's not particularly true. Anything with, just as it goes out of focus, anything with a C here actually counts as C being Caucasus, I suppose. So that can start on the boxes, the off-map boxes. Last turn, I had this guy come in. Come on. It's not going to focus on me, is it? There we go. It says 15C. So I've just moved him to one of the boxes. Yeah, it's just too late now anyway. So he'll just move on. I'm not sure I'd do a huge amount of damage to that. Okay, so reinforcements we've done with. Replacements, we have, of course, an infantry replacement. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to use it over here on this guards unit here, which is flipped. Guard rifle corps. So we turn that over, and yeah, I think that's probably worth doing that. So we use our placement there. Right, so reinforcements, placements, and a resource point, of course. We'll finish the fort here, and I think next fort I think will need to be here, just to create a sock bond there. So we'll do that, and yeah, starting to solidify the line at least on this half anyway, and there's still a way to go for the Germans to get to this line itself, although we do need to really garrison that city now, and we'll need to fall back on Pyatigorsk as well up here. Right, that's our initial phase, so we're on to the movement phase. Just one thing I do want to point out is this idea that this scenario kind of splits into two. So as you can see, this is essentially a game in its own right, coming from Novorossysk here onwards down to the Terek line, and then you have this kind of gap appearing, you can see here, between that and what's going on around Novorossysk and Tuapse here. And there's this big gap means that transfer of units is now become, that's actually a long distance to move things, and so you're kind of stuck with what you have, if you like. Yeah, it's that decision. I think I've got the balance a bit better than when I played through myself initially learning the game. I think I stuck too much over here and not enough over that way, and yeah, I think I got the balance a bit better. Right, so anyway, the movement phase. Right, having done the move, unfortunately we're left with a gap up here. This unit is cut off. I mean, you can only move one space into a ZOC again. This is probably the best place for him on the rough. And yeah, we've rushed forward, try and cover Piatigorsk, and yeah, we've just got a line here which is not very strong at all. I still think it's worth keeping the NKVD here. This is a good, if you like, an elbow here to get past. Yeah, hopefully should be able to retire unmolested here. Infantry could move this way, try and cut off, but not completely. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that over here. And over on the other side, very little movement here. I've moved a unit back here to the port. In fact, I'll move everything a little closer so you can see. This is the thing with this kind of split board now, having to shuffle the camera. So I've pulled this unit back here, thinking of pushing back to Tuapse because, well, it's getting a little dicey here, and we pushed out here to stop the outflank, but these mountain units can move through quite well actually. Other than that, here, taking the guards unit out of the fortification here. I think that's probably going to fall, possibly next turn, and I'd rather guard this road here with the guards unit. Let's see how it works for the Russians next turn. So just a little bit of recovery, which would be for retiring units. If we're over here, a unit here covering from disruption. The replacement counter comes off, and we've got the two strong guards units there now. Actually, I think I haven't moved this guard unit over here. Yeah, because that's shuffled up, so that should be there as well. Yeah, I've got to move him, and yeah, I think we're mostly there. Yes, okay, so in fact I think this corps over here I haven't moved as well, because he came in through the transit box last turn, so he would have moved down here. 1, 2, 5 to move him in as well. Been doing myself out of a move there. Good. Recovery, as I said, that's pretty much it, I think. So on to the supply phase. Check supply. We can supply out here because that's not a zone of control, so he's okay and he's not isolated or anything like that. So supply, I think, is good for the moment. In which case, yeah, I'll leave it at that. So that was turn 7, which became turn 16, August the 27th to 31st. And the novelty for next turn will be that we will be actually rolling for the weather. This is where the weather rolls start, getting into September. So anyway, I hope to see you at the next video. Thanks for watching.